And why are we here today? We are here today to remember the Palestinian children killed in Gaza. We will be here for a 24-hour period reading the names of the children killed in Gaza since October 7, 2023. And we note, first of all, that our list is unfortunately and tragically incomplete for many reasons. One, we have names as of October 2024. And as we know, the past 3 weeks have been horrific. Hundreds of families have been killed. There is a starvation siege in Gaza as Israel has refused to allow in humanitarian aid for 3 months, and now is threatening to weaponize humanitarian aid by creating a Gaza, quote unquote, Gaza humanitarian fund that would be running by the Israeli military. And so the Israeli military will be gathering Palestinians into concentration camps and giving them aid there. We are relieved as Harvard comes under increasing attacks by the Trump administration, that President Garber and Harvard University has not conceded to all of the Trump administration's demands. We believe that the unfettered pursuit of truth liberates us all, as President Alan Garber wrote in a letter to the university community. And we invite him to protect the unfettered pursuit of truth in pursuit of the freedom of all of us, including the Palestinian people, their right to life, to let Gaza live. We call on Harvard to defend free speech, academic freedom, and to adopt an ethical investment policy to ensure it is not funding human rights abuses with its $50 billion endowment. We have focused on children today because in Gaza, the dead are overwhelmingly children. An early UN report from last year showed that the greatest numbers of confirmed deaths were actually among children between the ages of 5 and 9 years old. The numbers include at least 17,400 children. That means at least 825 babies who could not celebrate their first birthday, 895 one-year-olds, 3,266 preschoolers, 4,032 children between the ages of 6 and 10, 3,646 middle schoolers, and 2,949 teenagers. We will be here reading the names available to us today to give appropriate space to grieve this tragic loss of life. We invite you to join us, to come down to Harvard Square and hold space with us, as we will be here for 24 hours. And before I start us off today, I'm just going to read one more piece, which is the story, because I think that, it is important to remember, and that's why we have called this event They All Have Names. Because we want to remember the names of the children, we want to remember their hopes and dreams, and we want to remember the horrific tragedy that has impacted them. And one of the tragedies in particular that has really captivated the nation and the world has been the story of Hind Rajab. Hind Rajab, who was 6 years old, was in Gaza. She and her cousin Layan were piled with their cousins in a car in the Tel El Halwa neighborhood in Gaza City as Israeli forces in. Her uncle and aunt put the four car and drove away, trying to escape in a Kanto. And an Israeli unit began shooting at their car. Hind's cousin, 15-year-old Layan Hamada, made an urgent call to the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, stating that they were being targeted. A tank was getting closer, and that everyone in the car, besides Hind and her, were killed. Seconds after, Layan's screaming abruptly stopped, and Hind was now the only one left alive, gravely injured and alone, trapped in the car. The Palestinian Red Crescent Society stayed in contact with Hind as they attempted to gain permission from the Israeli soldiers to send paramedics to the location. Investigation by forensic architecture later found that a total of 35 bullets were fired at the car, and that the tank operators had a clear view of the two children inside the vehicle. This investigation also found that the Israeli tank was placed only 13 to 23 meters away from the car of Hind's family. In just 6 seconds, 64 gunshots. 15-year-old Hind Rajab spent 3 hours on the phone with emergency services crying for help. She said, "Come and get me," repeatedly on the phone. Eventually, they patched her through to her mother. She prayed together on the phone with the emergency services staff. When her mother was on, she said, "I'm hurt, scared. I'm hungry. Come get me." When night started to fall, "I'm scared. I want you all to close your eyes and own children of a child who is important in your life." Of the way that they demand a band-aid, imperceptible scratch on their knee, which you know isn't needed because they need comfort when the lights are out. And they demand a nightlight in the room, and of course, we would bring them all the nightlights. But there was no nightlight for Hind. Hind was trapped in the car, stuck between the body of her dead relatives. As her voice became weaker, her mother asked her why she stopped talking. She answered, "There's blood coming." "Wipe it," her mother said. "I don't want to dirty my shirt," she responded. "I'm so so scared. Please come. Please call someone to come and take me. And then there Hind and her family members were found 12 days later when emergency services were finally able to get to the vehicle. Their bodies already decomposing because it was impossible to get to them in time. We hope that this event will only begin to scratch the surface of the grief that we are all. We, the American people, have the power to stop this cruel, inhumane insanity with an percent of the weapons wreaking this havoc on an imprisoned 2 million Palestinians in Gaza. I am now going to invite members of our team to help unfurl this beautiful banner, which has the names of the children. I'm sorry, of all of the Palestinians, of thousands of Palestinians killed in Gaza. And I will help do that, actually, I think. Oh. And as you sing 1, 2, 3. Yes. I don't know. Is it? Yes. Okay. All right. And so now we're going to switch to a mic here. So now I'm going to invite. Thank you. As you can see, this banner is immense, and it has names over the course of a year possibly only, and it is already taking up much of the sidewalk. So now I'm going to invite up a local member of the clergy to give a blessing before we begin reading the names. Thank you.
My name is Tutsu Esha Wayasti Wushipi Shuda. But you can call me Nakira or Pastor Nakira if you like. I'm the minister at Brighton. And I'm also, oh, we got some sound. Look at that. I am also, in addition to the minister at Congregational Church, I am of mixed race descent, but today I'm calling on my Numu ancestors who are indigenous to the places we now call California and Western Nevada. When we would visit each other prior to colonization and step off of our own territories, we would offer a land acknowledgement to say we are going to someone else's home and say this is what we are here to do. We come with respect, with love, with care. And so I'm going to do that for us today, to start with the land acknowledgement and say we are on the traditional homeland of the Massachusetts and their neighbors, the Mashpee Wampanoag, Aquina Wampanoag, and Nipmuc peoples. We remember, we honor, we promise to do better. The genocide and forced removal of indigenous peoples from this territory. As someone who's indigenous, this hits me deeply to stand giving a land acknowledgement while we honor and remember those who have lost their lives in Palestine. Because the two are interconnected, they are part of that same weaving of violence. And so today I offer a prayer. A prayer that we do better, a blessing on the folks who have come here today to do this work. And a prayer that our grief opens our hearts wide open. And not just our hearts, but the heart and across the sea, to end violence, that we might be moved to come up of our crimes, but the peace that is the renewal. Peace, salam, shalom. In your many.
I am going to invite and begin the reading every time we reach of these children. 0. So starting with the names of children who did not make it to
of Isaiah Nazar Wala Al-Dawata, Yasser Al-Ala Walid Mahmoud Nayam Shadi of Anwar Al-Har, daughter of Amtoy, daughter Khatab Muhammad Al-Maoy, Ahad Omar, daughter Ahmed Abu Layla, Ranad Salim, son Ahmed Shabila, daughter Masouh Muhammad